Funded by USAID, AED developed an innovative subsidy program in 7 African countries to ensure that those most at risk of malaria were able to buy insecticide-treated mosquito nets called ITNs at a price they could afford.
We make nets commercially available to all people who can afford them. We work also to ensure that people who are slightly at disadvantage financially can afford and acquire those nets at a subsidized price.
Vouchers are used to provide a subsidy directly to individuals within a specific target group, with many organizations providing the funding and the commercial sector making the product or service, in this case ITNs, readily available in outlets near those being targeted. At this AED-supported education session in rural Senegal, mothers are making cost comparisons between insecticide-treated nets and less effective forms of malaria prevention like aerosol sprays and mosquito coils. Mrs. Ndao, a young mother of 2, is learning that instead of spending roughly $35 a year on aerosol insecticides or mosquito coils, an ITN will cost her only $6 and will protect her from malaria for years. After being counseled in the proper use of an ITN, Mrs. Ndao is given a voucher subsidizing the purchase of an insecticide-treated net. Using a little of her own money, together with the voucher, Mrs. Ndao buys her ITN at the pharmacy attached to the public health clinic. The voucher program is AED's bridge between free ITN distribution and fully commercial nets, and between public and private sectors. The amount of the subsidy provided by the voucher can vary, up to 100% of the cost of an ITN. AED's discount voucher program is operating in many sub-Saharan countries. At this public health clinic in rural Ghana, Asi Agam, a pregnant mother, receives her voucher subsidizing the cost of an ITN. At a private stall outside the clinic, Asi uses the voucher and some of her own money to buy the ITN she wants, choosing color, size, shape, and brand. The stall holder makes a small profit. Asi gets the ITN of her choice, and donor funds are used effectively and in a highly targeted way.
If I had to buy the net at full price, it would have been difficult for me. But because it has been subsidized, now I pay only 2 Ghana cedis to get a net. And I know somebody has paid part of the cost of the net for me. I'll sleep under the net to prevent me and my new baby from getting malaria.
The voucher program is an effective way to target use of donor funds. Every voucher goes to the individual who needs an ITN. Every ITN package has a point of sale sticker that is affixed to the voucher after the sale. If the voucher is not redeemed, the donor funds are not used.
If you get a voucher and you don't need a net, nothing is wasted. It's just a piece of paper.
It's a public-private partnership at its best. The commercial sector handles the logistics of ordering, storing, packaging, distributing, and selling ITNs, leaving the public sector free to focus on public health services, targeting those most at risk of malaria and getting the vouchers to those who need them. And at the same time, the voucher system helps expand the retail market for ITNs. Subsidizing nets through the commercial sector not only increases the availability of ITNs, it actually expands the commercial market for ITNs as consumers become accustomed to buying them, even at a subsidized price. Shopkeepers may initially stock ITNs because of the voucher program, but continue to stock them when they realize there is a viable market for full-price ITNs.
for the people who cannot afford to pay outrightly for these nets. We have seen that it has brought a lot of progress in terms of sales and in terms of distribution of the nets. So I would say that this was a brilliant idea.
The demand created by the discount voucher program helps create a sustainable commercial market for nets that is not dependent on continued donor support. Over 1.9 million families have used vouchers to purchase an ITN.